Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Berez, and if you're new here, welcome. I am a full-time content creator based in New York City. Today's video I have a story time, so I have my cappuccino here. If you want to go grab something, pause the video, get something warm and cozy, because today I'm going over how I became a full-time content creator. This is my full-time job, and basically I'm just going to share with you a little background about me and what are the sources of income that I make, because it's not just from one place, it's through different revenue sources. So I'm going to be sharing with you what I do to make my money online. So let's rewind about 7 years. I promise I'm not going to go into too much detail about how I came into New York. If you didn't know, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I visited New York City with my mom for the first time when I was 16. I absolutely fell in love with New York. I just loved the energy. I knew I wanted to live in New York, so I thought the easiest way to actually live in New York is to go to college in New York. So I applied to the Fashion Institute of Technology, FIT, and I got in, so that is where I went to college. And I studied advertising and marketing, so I've always had an interest in kind of like digital creation. Now, to be honest, this was also like the age of Gossip Girl, and I don't want to say that I moved to New York City because of a TV show, but I was highly influenced. But no, I really did love New York, and I'm still here today. So it's been 10 years and I'm still in New York City. And while I was in college, I was working at sports bars, restaurants in New York just to pay my rent and all of my expenses. And then after I graduated college, I just was working at a restaurant full-time. I liked it, but I knew that wasn't gonna be like my full-time, you know, job. So I kind of was just not really sure on what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, the place that I was working at closed down and I had to find a new job. So I thought that was like the perfect opportunity for me to get an office job, honestly, just to see what it was like. And then I got my first office job in New York at a really cool company. Even though I wasn't making a lot of money, my job was actually pretty cool. It was for a luxury staging company. I would basically create like interior mock-ups of like what the staging company would do to sell real estate. And now this wasn't just like your average real estate. These were like 14 million and up penthouse suites that I got to tour around Manhattan. So that was amazing to see all of these cool, stunning homes, like mansions in the city, and basically kind of create what we would design in the space. So it was a very creative job, which I absolutely loved. And honestly, it's kind of funny because the offices are actually like around the corner where I live right now. So full circle moment. The reality of my job kind of sunk in. I really wasn't making enough money to pay my rent, honestly. And it's so crazy. I was actually making more money in New York working at bars and restaurants than I was in like an office job with my college degree. Was working there for about a year and a half, and because I really wasn't making a lot of money, I took on another restaurant job. So I was working 2 jobs at once, and I remember working one summer every single day. I was working Sunday to Sunday. I was working doubles on Saturdays and Sundays. I was working about like 12 hours, and then I would work at the office full-time. So I was really working a lot. I liked my job. I thought it was so interesting, but the job progression of where I would be promoted, that job was just not me. It was a sales position, so like sales calls, and that is just not me. Even though I love writing, it's just for me to like communicate professionally is not a strong point. I knew that I didn't really want to be in that job forever. And I'm the type of person, like if I move into an apartment, if I get a job, like you have to like kick me out or fire me because I will not leave. Like I just don't love changing positions. I'm not the one who is seeking out new jobs. I'm kind of, I guess, like laid back in the way that if I have a job, I'm going to keep it until like forever. And I think what really set me off was the fact that there was only 9 vacation days in the year. So I take off for visiting my family during Christmas time, so that kind of left 4 days on my own for the full year to take a vacation. And for me, traveling has always been a passion of mine. I have no time off. It was just not like where I wanted to be. So after a year and a half, I quit my job. Yeah. So during this job, I was like, what else can I do? Like, what else can I do? What am I passionate about? And I think during that time when I was working in the office, it was not a positive time for me personally, and I was just not in a good mood. Every day I would come to work like upset. I was just not happy at all. So on my free time, when I had some, because I was working 2 jobs, I would go online and look up like YouTube videos on like bloggers and how much they made, and I was like, you can make like $100,000 a month being a blogger. So I was watching like these like inspirational videos of like starting a blog, and I was like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make so much money blogging. And that was like my idea of like quitting my job. I'm like, you know, I can do something else, but I can't focus on it with this job. So I actually ended up quitting, and I booked a trip to Europe. I went to Paris. Where did I go? I went to London, Paris, and Madrid and Barcelona. As soon as I landed back from that trip as me becoming a full-time travel blogger, I had another job lined up at a restaurant. So when I came back, I did have another source of income. I was going to be working at a hotel. So it wasn't like I just had nothing, like just quit my job and like didn't have another source of income coming in, which I feel like is a big misconception when it comes to working online, is just like throwing everything up in the air and just trying to try it out, because I don't think that's the best way to go about it, which I will also give some tips at the end of this video. And I do want to say before I go even further is that my journey is going to be different from your journey, another content creator's journey, and I literally learn something every day, every year. So it's going to be different for anyone who is starting into it. This is just my personal journey and how I got to doing full-time content creation. So I landed back in New York for my little 2-week getaway in Europe, and I took some photos on my phone, and I was gonna travel blog about it. Basically, when I came back into New York, I had a hotel job, so I was working part-time, maybe like 4 days, 5 days at most. That was like a busy week. Usually it would just be like 4 days working at the hotel. And in my free time, because now I had 3 or 4 days on my own, I really started focusing on my blog and my Instagram. So Arsenio, he came in here. He was the one really to push me to do this. He was like, why don't you show your makeup? Why don't you show your outfit and use hashtags on Instagram? This was like in 2017. And I had 700 followers at that moment. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me just try it. You know, it took me a while to like get the confidence to post like more professional photos of me in like New York City, whereas my account was sort of just like a personal account, nothing really too aesthetic. And my old Instagram name, by the way, was Champagne Mama. So that was kind of what I was getting into, posting on Instagram. There really was no purpose. I was just kind of just posting nice pictures. So at the end of the year, I was like, you know what, I really want to do this. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to be blogging more. I wasn't really blogging. I had my domain, which is my website URL, and I honestly didn't do anything with it that year because I just really did not know what I was doing. And I had a job, so it wasn't like I needed to work on it because I needed money. It kind of just happened that way. So at the end of 2017, that was when I decided that I really wanted to be, you know, an Instagram influencer, a travel blogger. So I took a course, which I highly recommend if you want to learn more about the industry. Taking courses is an amazing way to learn from other peers. So I took a course from Christina Galbato in 2017. And that really helped me focus on like what the heck I was doing with my Instagram, because currently it was just like me posting nice photos. There was no rhyme or reason. It was just sort of like all over the place, and that really helped me focus like a photo editing style. Just what kind of content I was posting was more cohesive at that point. And I was also following like-minded people, DMing them. I was DMing people who were doing the same thing as me in New York City. I was meeting up with people almost like every weekend, just kind of creating a network with other like-minded people who want to do the same. I still see the same girls and we're still doing it, and it's really awesome to see that from all the way back then. We're all kind of doing our own thing now. In 2018, it was like full speed ahead. I was really focusing on my Instagram, and I wrote some blog posts, and I started my Pinterest following for my blog to get more traffic to my blog. And it's a slow burning process. Like, you may not think you're making any progress in a week, but after a while, I actually started to see my followers grow on Instagram. And at the end of 2018, I grew 50,000 followers. And in that year, I had my first paid collaboration on Instagram. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to make money on Instagram. Companies are paying me to post about their product, and I'm getting paid to post their product. It was amazing. In 2019, it was my goal to become full-time. And in 2019, I was working with more brands on Instagram, as well as my blog traffic started to grow, and I applied to be part of Mediavine, which is an ad network for my blog, which means now I have ads placed on my blog. And because of that, I make money per every view on my blog. So that was another income that came in. So basically at that point, I was making 2 forms of income. And in 2019, I was like, you know what? I want to have more free time to go on trips, because at that point I was getting kind of reached out to a lot more. I was not really able to take off as much as I wanted to do with my hotel job. I ended up quitting my hotel job in 2019. Now, I must say, in 2019, I was still working at the hotel, and it was an amazing setup because it was basically a part-time job, and there wasn't really like a set schedule. Like you could tell them when you were available to work. So I definitely blocked off some days where I knew I had like a work event, or if I wanted to go on a 3-day vacation or a getaway, I could block off days of the week and they wouldn't schedule you. So that was kind of perfect. You can kind of create your own schedule. So I never really worked at the hotel on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. It was more of like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing on the weekend. So during the weekday, I could really focus on my content creation job and kind of do emails during the workday, wherever. So in 2019, I actually ended up quitting the hotel job and I became full-time. Looking back at that moment, I don't know if it was the right decision at the time, just because I really wasn't making that much money every single month. It was kind of still very like fluctuating, but I ended up quitting my job anyway, and I took a full month to go to Europe. Full month. I went to Greece, Paris, Malta, and Sicily. Full month away. I will never do it again. Just want to be clear, I love traveling for long periods of time. I just needed a break in between each destination to resettle. It was basically a non-stop trip, and it was a whole lot to take in. It was amazing. I just know I need like a week in between each trip just to resettle back into my normal lifestyle, because it was like 1 month of eating out, 1 month of not working out, 1 month of non-stop waking up and traveling and exploring. It was a lot. It was fun. I'm glad that we did it, but let's take the opportunity. Al and I, we went together and had an amazing time. So in 2019, I became a full-time content creator. So then 2020 happened, and I kind of had to reevaluate everything, because a lot of my content was from travel related things. So in 2020, I took a step back and I really refocused on my blog. I worked on different content strategies. I see myself more of a travel and lifestyle creator. I love fashion, I like beauty, I love home decor. So I like all different types of things. So I definitely branched out into different categories. I did my whole blog. Seriously, I had an old theme. It was so ugly. And also I have my YouTube channel, which is here in 2021 to make 6 figures doing content creation. And now I'm going to get into all of the sources of income that I make to make 6 figures as a content creator. So a big source of my income is working with brands and sponsorships. Those collaborations can range within the thousands of dollars. So once you get that paycheck in your account, it is really cute. But not only do brands pay me to post on my account, I also can create content for brands that they use for their channel. Last year I did a collaboration with Disney, created the content for them, and they used it for their channels and their advertising. So it's called whitelisting. I didn't even have to post on my Instagram. I just created the content for them. And then I also had other brand sponsorships throughout the year. That is a big form of income when you work with other brands. And brands can either reach out to me directly, or I can pitch them if I have an idea. The second form of income is advertising income. So I make money through my blog by me putting ads on my website. I am a part of Mediavine, which is a ad network. You need to have a minimum amount of views per month to apply to get into Mediavine. So my Mediavine check can basically pay for my rent in New York, which is amazing. And then I also have my YouTube ads, the ads that you see on my YouTube channel. I know they're annoying, but it helps me out, guys. It helps me out. That is the Google AdSense, and that is another paycheck every single month that I make through just having ads on my content. The next form of income is affiliate income. So affiliate sales is when I recommend a product, you buy it through my link or code. I make a small commission on those sales. Now, affiliate income is interesting because it really isn't a lot of money. Like sometimes your commissions are like from Amazon, they're like 18 cents. But if it adds up, you could make a lot of money doing affiliate sales. So my top affiliate networks are reward style. And then my other forms of affiliate income are travel affiliates, so hotel sales. The next form of my income is my own digital product. I sell Lightroom presets. That's basically a filter for your photos. It helps editing better. I will also leave that down in the description box if you're interested in checking them out. So I make money through my own product. And then lastly, I make money through selling clothes on Poshmark. That's not like a big income, but I do make money through Poshmark. And it's over the amount that we have to pay taxes on. So I guess it's part of my income now. So those are the ways that I make money online. But there are some tips that I want to talk about if you think that this is something that you want to get into. The first tip slash FYI is the income fluctuates. Oh my goodness, it is not very stable in terms of like a job that you work in an office or anywhere else. You're going to get that same paycheck every week. Not when it comes to online creation. So for example, January is a very slow month. My RPM for my blog and YouTube drops like significantly this month. Everything is it's just not popping in January. December, however, is where RPM is very high. A lot of brands have budget for Q4 for holiday sales. So in Q4 is probably where you make a lot of money. Q1 is slow. It is what it is. It's not the busiest time of the year in terms of brand sponsorships. I think for me, it usually picks up in spring and then it goes throughout the year. So Q1, I'm just like, should I go to Miami? Should I go on vacation? I really should have gone on vacation this January just to like kind of relax, because once it starts, it does not stop. So that's number two. If you work for yourself in online creation, it is basically a 24/7 type of situation. It's not the easiest job. I think there's not one day where I don't think about what I should film, what I should edit, what I should do. It's basically like it consumes me. I absolutely love it. So for me, it's not a big deal. I think a lot of people have like another misconception that you should quit your job right now and start, you know, an online career. I don't think that's the best advice. It took me like 2.5 years to go full-time, like 2.5 years trying to make this a full-time income. It doesn't happen overnight. Again, where I say don't compare yourself to others, because you may see someone who became full-time in 3 months, or you may have seen someone who came full-time in 10 years. My personal journey was 2.5 years. It's gonna be different for everyone. It is definitely a case-by-case basis, and I feel like you cannot give up. It's just something that you have to keep and want. I honestly did not want anything more than to become full-time. I believed it at 2,000 followers is basically what I'm saying. I knew I was going to be successful. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that it wouldn't be where I am today. I believe that's called manifestation. My last tip is to never give up. If you want it, you can have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have any questions. I would be happy to answer them. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. I also post on my Like to Know It. That's basically where I keep all of my favorite finds. And I just got back into TikTok. I didn't post for a year on there, but I'm back. So if you want to follow me on there, you can check out my TikTok. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you found this video helpful. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.